Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.
This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me is two-weight world champion Billy Joe Saunders. We're all going for a bad time, Billy, so we're going to start on a good note for the fans. You've got something to give away, yes? We'll find some sort of merch.
Yeah, I've got a pair of gloves and a t-shirt, so get a little competition going somewhere, a little giveaway.
So what I'll do, I'll clip this bit out. To win it, you've got to retweet it, then you've got to comment what you think Billy rates as his best win ever. So you might want to whisper to me. We'll give him three names. We'll give him David Lemieux, Chris Eubank Jr. Now, did he? No?
You got to put something else in that. You know what I mean? We can't just put hashtags. We can't put. What are you looking for, Steve? Here, look, get the key. Billy Joe, you got the key.
Dad,
No, go that side. Look, and take them gloves and them trainers with you and everything on there. Come on, Billy Joe, grab them. Sorry about that. Well, listen, what you got to do, you can't just do fight. Well, let's think of something else to do. Let's. I'm gonna let you do it.
But what don't you think that's interesting? What the fans?
I'll tell you what we do. Well, let's see what the fans think. Let's see what the fans think of IFL's best interview. Let's see who the best man is to interview.
Who the best man to? Okay, you might be in with a shout.
Maybe. I'm up there, aren't I? I'm up there in 5 at least. If there's 5 there, I'm up there, so I'm happy.
So do you want to just introduce a little one?
What's your name?
No.
What?
No.
Vienna. Her name is Vienna.
You've been beating your brothers up today, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Tell him who come and seen you the other day.
Santa Claus said hi.
Santa Claus. And who?
I said hi.
Oh, I forgot.
Did Santa Claus bring you anything special?
Yeah.
What does Santa Claus bring you?
I'm a shush.
What?
A shush.
Oh, what?
A shush.
Tell him properly. What did he bring you? What else did he bring you?
A shush.
Yeah, what else?
What toys?
Lots of toys.
That's always good. That's always good.
She's been fighting with the boys today. She was all done up earlier on, but now she's been fighting with the boys. Her hair's all over the gaff, innit?
Well, if Billy Joe Saunders is your father, I suppose, daughter or son, going to be a fighting person.
I don't know about if she's going to be a fighter. I do all the fighting for her, but we're just chilling. We're just chilling, aren't we?
What if she turned around to you one day and said, "I want to be a fighter"?
It's down to her, innit? You know what I mean? I don't know. See, I think that sons, a father and son and a father and daughter relationship is a lot different, isn't it? Like, I don't know. Look at Katie Taylor. She's earning a good living, can fight like anything, real good, the best, one of the best certainly. And her dad's got supreme confidence in her, innit? So maybe one day, maybe she'll want to be a little fighter, maybe. Do you want to be a boxer when you grow up? Do you want to be boxing? You do? All right. She wants to be boxing.
What about this one, Stevie? Can fight, can he?
He's a bit big, and he's got a bit of pudding to get off Christmas bud.
We'll allow him. It's just the Christmas period. We'll allow him.
Yeah, it's just the Christmas period.
Billy, I know you had a catch up with Coogan just before the end of the year, where you spoke in depth about Mr. Canelo Alvarez. We've been hearing from Eddie Earn that he's looking to do a 2-fight deal with Canelo for Anvi Yildirim in Mexico, and then hopefully yourself in May. Positive news?
Well, yeah, most definitely, but I'm not sitting around waiting till May, that's for sure. So I want to be out. So whether that's Andrade, bring him out, winner of us fights, Canelo, it is what it is. But I'm not going to be sitting around waiting until May because Steve, stop that, please. Because it's just too long. You know what I mean? He's fighting in February, so I want to fight in February, first week in March, something like that. So I need to fight, obviously, before... I can't just let him fight, go into a camp and then roll straight over and into another camp, which is a clever move from them if they're fighting me. But also, I want to be out as well.
You might want to tell your daughter.
Vienna, come on, please.
Daddy's trying to do an interview here.
Listen, this interview's not going to be no way professional at all. You want a McDonald's?
We don't like professionalism here.
Yeah, so that's that really. But, you know, I I am looking forward to the boxing and getting out and showing what I've got in 2021. But, at the minute, I think we all just got to be happy, and we all got to be thankful that we're all here and still continue to do our sport, because I think the British Boxing Board of Control has said until February, further notice, they're shutting all shows. So, that's not good for young fighters coming through, because, it is what it is. But as a sport, we need to grow and we need to get the ball moving and get, things back to normal again. And as a sport as a whole, to get that, these young fighters, as you've seen here training today, they're all looking for dates, obviously, and they're going to struggle. So, it's all right for the big fights, because the fans want to see the big fights. But who knows the up and coming fighters? You've got to let the public eye, give their eyes a chance to see them. And at the minute, with this pandemic and how 2021's going, it's going to be very hard, and I think we're going to lose a lot of talent out of British boxing because of the situation we're in. Vienna, come on, please. This man. Do you want to come and sit with me? Come on, then. You can do an interview. Come out here, then. Do you want to do an interview? What do you want to talk about? Tell me. Look at her hair. She's like Bam Bam, isn't she? Off and
Look at my hair.
feel her hair. Look at her hair. It's lovely hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you just do one thing for me? Just show him pretty eyes. Show him pretty eyes, quick. Show him quick. Oh, look at them eyes.
Is that your best looking kid?
Yeah, I've got to say, she's got a bit of a soft spot, to be honest with you. I've got a bit of a soft spot for her,
Bill, I want to ask you about Demetrius Andrade. Not many fighters in world boxing call you out. He's been relentless over the last 2 months. Have you got a response to Demetrius Andrade?
Do you know what? I swear to God, on my kids' life, and she's sitting on my lap, I'm very supremely confident of literally knocking him out cold. Very, very confident. I love boxing southpaws. I love boxing someone like his style. I've got a very, very, very good track record against southpaws. I would love to give him an Iden. Eddie, make the fight. Let's get it on. Rock and roll. Vacate the British title. Vacate the world 160 title. Move up. Tell the WBO you're moving up, and we can get it on. It's not rocket science, is it? You know what I mean? If you're worried about it, vacate, move up, and you're mandatory. Move up and do it.
Can you not make 160?
What?
Can you not make 160?
I can make 160, but why do I want to go back down to 160 when the big money fights are at 168? And all the big talents now moved up to 168. Move up, come up to 168, let's rock and roll. Funnily enough, me and him swap a lot of messages on social media. On Twitter and other bits and bobs. I texted him this morning, funny enough, what are you doing? Let's get it on. Do you know what I mean? Because I just don't want to be sitting around let's let Canelo do his thing. If he's fighting February, listen, I would love to fight him in May, and I want to fight him in May, but if you think I'm just going to be sitting around till May twiddling my thumbs, you've got another thing coming. I'm not going to be doing that. Like I say, look, I'm back in the gym, I'm in shape, Let's get it on. It's just all this fucking around and messing about with all these big fights. They're the only ones to be made now with this pandemic. They're the only ones where you get your waiver and go, right, off you go to America. Let's make these big fights. And with all these promoters and everyone saying, the money's not there and we can't make... The cost of money's there. Everybody wants to watch these fights now. Everyone's sitting at home and they're going to pay pay-per-view to watch these big fights. So let's get them made. There's nothing else for them to do apart from pay their money to watch big fights. And I remember Eddie Hearn saying in an interview is that, nothing effective from Sky or anything like that. I remember when Joe Gallagher and Eddie Hearn had a bit of an argument. But Eddie said himself that money's not affected and other things. So there's no reason why not to make these fights, because the fighters are up for it. They're contracted to fight. They're all their names. We're all got our names in each other's contract. Probably. Let's get it on. Let's just stop beating around the bush now and waiting around, because I'm going to get sick and tired of waiting around for one of these big fights. And it's getting to the stage now where if a big fight don't get made, I'm just going to end up going, listen, thank you very much, see you later. Because I'm in it now for the big fights. I'm in it to see how good I am. If you're not going to put someone in front of me where I'm up against it, and let's see how good I am, then let's not bother talking about rubbish, bring in this one and that one. I'm sure I think my mandatory is Zach Parker. So that's another fight. He didn't get on to fight on the show in December, so maybe that he's ready to rock and roll and fight. But it's not the big fight that I want. You know, so Demetrius Andrade, if he moves up to 168, he jumps in front of everyone. Me and him get it on. The winner of us fight Canelo. That's a brilliant plan, isn't it? Yeah. It's a good plan.
Works for the zone.
Works for the zone. Winner of us fight Canelo. So, you know, but I'm not sitting around to May. Definitely not. You know, I'm not going to be sitting around waiting around to May because that's just long. So I want to be out, like I say, end of Feb, what I've been told, or first week of March, like I say. But it's got to be that for them dates to work in May anyway. End of Feb, first week of March. So it is what it is.
So let's not mess around. £168. What's your message to Demetrius Andrade? When would you be ready for that fight?
Well, I'm ready whenever he's ready. Look, we're both in the gym. We're both back training now. Let's get it on. Like,
put a month on it, Bill.
Well, look, it's February is perfect for me. Next month will be perfect for me. End of next month will be perfect for me. So, you know, if it's any later, then it's sort of like running the Canelo fight into jeopardy. So let's meet him, get it on, and move up to 168, vacate the belt. You know, let him vacate his belt and move up to 168.
That's Demetrius Andrade done. Have you seen recent comments from Chris Eubank Jr.?
No, I don't even. Is he even still around? What's happening then?
He basically said that you never have deserved the Canelo fight. You don't warrant it.
So what does he deserve it? Yeah. What's he done? What's he won? What's he won? Like, talk to me, please. British. Did he win the European?
Don't know. What did he fight Nick Blackwell for?
Was it the British and Commonwealth? So you're not even European champion and you think you warrant a world title fight. I'll say this once again. He will never be world champion. Never, ever, ever be world champion because he hasn't got the minerals and he hasn't... See, in boxing, it's very, very simple. You have to be a special kind of creature and a bit of a lunatic in the head sort of thing to you've got to be a little bit tapped in you. Let's face it. To want to get in there and start punching someone in the face and taking it and liking it and enjoying it, there's got to be something a little bit not right with you. So when you get someone like him and he's had the upbringing he's had and, you know, he's been put into the game because his dad was, and yeah, he's been taught to hold his hands up and he's been taught to do what he does, but he hasn't got that little bit of venom in him when, you know, when that dig comes. I've seen it with George Groves. I see it with myself. I see it with, you know, he was out of depth his last fight against the fellow who's a...
Korobov.
Korobov. He texts me all the time. He is a drinker. He loves drink. Korobov is drinking every night. So he went out there and schooled him until he pulled his shoulder out. He's not good at all. So I didn't even know he existed, to be honest with you. So with him, I'm just going to completely dismiss him and move on.
What do you think about the fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Charlo?
I don't really rate Eubank, to be honest with you, at world level. So
did you get knocked out by Charlo?
Yeah, look, it's one of them. I just want to completely dismiss him. He's not even worthy of me mentioning his name.
Okay. Back to Andrade quickly, actually. There's talks of him and Gennady Golovkin potentially fighting.
It's all these talks, but where's the fights? There's talks of me and Canelo. There's talks of me and everybody. There's talks of Golovkin and...
Canelo having a third fight.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's all these talks, but let's get real. Let's make the fights. I've been on the phone to my management, MTK. They've reassured me I'll be knowing something this week. Eddie Earns texted me, said, give him 48 hours, which I did. So today maybe is the day where we know what's happening, where it's happening, who it is. Let's get it on. Because it's one of them. I don't want to... How long we locked down for? 6 weeks?
I don't know, to be honest. It could be ages.
Exactly. So I need to make plans now if they want me to make a big fight. I've been in ticking over Christmas. They need to let me know who it is, when it is, how it is, so I can start making plans for going away.
Come in your daddy's lap. Come in your daddy's lap.
You won't. You won't. Do you want to come sit with me? You want to sit there? Go on, sit there. Yeah, so let's just get them made because there's big fights to be made out there. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of, and not only at my weight division, at all the weight divisions. Get them made because now's the time we need to make these fights. So, you know, the public will buy into these fights. The public, you know, listen, let's face it. If a big fight was to happen, a big pay-per-view event on the weekend, and you're locked at home, you're locked in at home, and it's 60 quid, you're probably going to pay it just to watch it. Not on a score. Do you know what I'm saying? If a man can't give a score to watch a big fight, or a boxing fan give like 20 quid to watch a big fight, they're not really boxing fans, and I know that the right fight built right gets that like crossover effect of the non-boxing fans as well, and I think that big names draw them sort of crowds out. So I think it's only the big fights that we need to be looking for in 2021.
Is it fair to say this is a make or break year for you? You either pack it on or you either secure these mega
It's never make or
fights?
break. It's never make or break for me. I'm 30-0, two-time world champion, won everything along the line, beat everybody in front of me, and will continue beating everyone in front of me. But if you're not going to give me the big fights, the big stake, let's see who it is, let's see how good I am, then I will, yeah.
Will you retire this year?
Well, I don't know about retire this year, but I will think about, what, do I even need to be doing this if I'm just going to go around fighting at this level? Because the likes of your Andrades, they just want to sit around and fighting bums. They're happy to do that. They're happy to fight people. Like Martin Murray, realistically, you put Martin Murray in one hand and put all of Andrade's fights in one hand. He hasn't boxed anyone what Martin Murray's even been through. World title challenger, been in with X, Y and Z. He hasn't boxed anyone like that.
Who's his best win, Andrade?
I don't even know.
Selecki?
I don't know. I generally don't even know. So, who is his best win? Selecki. Who beat Selecki now? Yeah. So anyway, that's all that rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So you need to make these big fights. I'm not happy sitting around waiting for these. I've been waiting that long for one of these big fights now that I'm thinking I'm going to end up going off like a stale piece of milk. She's right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's waiting. You're waiting every time for that call to say, right, you're fighting X, Y, Z, like the big names. But it's hard to get up, when you're fighting these smaller guys, You're all right, go on, pal. So, like I say, let's make the big fights, and Eddie Earn's the man who can make them. Get back to me. Let's make the fights, because it's one of them, mate. It's one of them where it's getting a bit boring now.
Who would you say your best win is?
Who would I say my best winners? Well, I've been in with some good company. Like I say, no one wanted to fight David Lemieux at the time. Only Golovkin, Andy Lee. I can go on and on and on. John Ryder. Even the likes of the fights what I were coming through as learning for experience.
Spike O'Sullivan.
Yeah, but even when I was coming through, I was fighting unbeaten fighters since I've fighting for the Commonwealth, really. I boxed for the Commonwealth against Gerald Fletcher. It was Olympian. Came through. I've had some good wins. You got Andy Lee, obviously world champion.
Box Blackwell.
Yeah, you got blocks. There's a few. You know what I mean. But all of my fighters, the top names I've boxed at, you can say right, well, they're worthy of fighting for a world title. They're world championship level fighters, like my good wins. There's not many of them on Andrade's regime. We've seen it many times. When someone steps up that he thinks, oh, it's a bit of a fight, it's like a bit of a bolt hole. Now, his only bolt hole is to vacate his title, move up, and he's thinking, it could be three-time world champion, plus, if I fight Billy Joe, the money in the contract is good money. I think it'd be very, very good money, like a few million. So he's obviously looking at that thinking, right, do I grab $4 or $5 million to fight Billy Joe, or do I wait for my mandatory, and it's it could be a little bit tricky, and Mongia, or you know what I mean, one of them sort of fights. So it's a bit of a risk. He's probably thinking he might as well get beaten by me than one of them and get a good dough.
Remember going into that David Lemieux fight, the bookies had him favourite.
Yeah, look, bookies and all that rubbish. Listen, that's why I say when a fighter's in there, it's down to him himself to turn the fight around. Styles make fights. You're in control of your body. You're in control of your mind and your emotions. So it's your job to go in there, and if you're getting beat, to turn that around. That's what I want to do. Let Chuck Canelo in. He may be beating me. Let's see if I can find an avenue to come through and cause him problems and to get the win. And that's the excitement that's missing from boxing at the minute. And, I'm not into that. I don't want to be sitting around. I want the big fights. And plus, I've been in this game since I've been 5 years old. And, I've only ever known as an amateur fighting the best. I've been boxing the best since I was on the senior squad when I turned 17, boxing all around the world, boxing the world number ones and twos. I'm used to fighting the best, at such a young age. Not, look, I know we can't help this pandemic, and I'm not having a moan up and having a go, but it's one of them, like, we're all sitting around twiddling our thumbs waiting for a phone call to see who's who. I'm not in the Canelo business. I'm not working for him. You know, I'm going in there to literally do what I can. I'm going in there to badly hurt him. If I could seriously hurt him, I will. Seriously. And if he can seriously hurt me, he's going to do it. So there's no respect from my point of view looking at, Canelo's going to fight in February, then he's going to fight me in May. Oh yeah, Paul Canelo, he needs that. He's got to fight. He's mandatory. Then he's going to have me. I'm not going to be sitting around and waiting. So I hope that there's a plan B. You know, get me up. Winner fights him. But we need to know like this week because, you know, if I'm going to be fighting first week in March, I need to be getting away into the surrounding. Like, you know, everything's locked down here. We've got access to a closed gym. And
when would you ideally like to go to America to start your training camp?
Look, I'm starting training now. I'm in training now, so you know I can train here. But there's, you know, when you need to get your mind right and everything, I like being away 8-10 weeks. You know, so if I go away, I don't know, next week or so, week after, then it's, you know, I'm in a good position.
What do you think about the other super middleweight champion in Caleb Plant?
I think he's a very good fighter. I actually like him as a fighter, but as talking about me fighting him or anyone fighting him, it's just a waste of breath because they're on different platforms. So if we can't make these big fights on everyone on the zone platform, all on the same platform, to cross over and fight another fight, it's very difficult to do. But I do think he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's very round. He's skilled well. You know, he's got a good boxing brain. I think he's definitely a good fighter. I like him. I rate him.
Bill, any updates on your men Dante Dixon and Louis Edmondson?
Dante Dixon will probably sign with Matchroom. Eddie wants to sign him, so I've got to have that discussion with him. Obviously, Louis Edmonds is with Frank Warren, but he boxed on Eddie Earn's show because you know, me and Frank's got a good relationship, and Eddie was good enough to put him on, and I've got to thank Eddie for that a lot because Louis didn't box he boxed on the MTK show, but he was struggling to get out on a Frank Warren show, which is understandable because if he's already done his shows and, you know, there's no room. So I've got to thank both of them really for that crossover sort of, even though it's only small, but it's a start to the Fury and Joshua maybe. We don't know if they can work together with that, you know what I mean, or let him fight there. Maybe we can do something with the Fury and Joshua. So it's one of them. So I've got to thank both promoters for that, and I need to speak. I text Frank actually before Christmas, so he should be looking out, you know, when the boxing starts back.
I like that you've kept that relationship with Frank.
Yeah, look, me and Frank get on well. To be honest with you, I actually like Frank. We didn't split with any animosity. We split, and you know, if he was invite me around for a coffee or we go out for a bit of food and have a chat, the football, it's nice because it's nice to keep that. And look, I can honestly say with Frank Warren, he always did what he said he was going to do. It was just that when he launched his BoxNation and that, and you know, he was struggling, but he came through it, man. Like you can never write him off. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone would go, he's finished, he's this, he's that, but he always pulls for it. Now he's got a good contract with BT. And I think he's doing really well. He's putting on some good fights. You know, we see the heavyweight fights he's putting on. So he's going well, and I like Frank. And what I like about him, he's not like, I asked him for a bit of a favour. Look, can Louis fight there? He was like, yeah, no problem. Do you know what I mean? You don't get many do that, and I've got to respect him for that. And that's the reason why we get on great, because he's sort of like, he's one of us, isn't he?
Just spoke to Louis. He wants a Zach Chelly fight. What do you think about that? Yeah,
I think it's a good fight. Look, I think that both men are a million miles away from the world title fight. Everything's stacking in Zach Chelly's favour, really. When you look at, you know, he's had more fights at the weight. He's been in bigger fights. He's been in with more experienced opposition. Louis is only a novice, and he's willing to put that on the line. And that's what I like about working with these kind of kids like Louis and Dante. They don't think, I don't want to fight him. These are asked him for, you're all right, mate, come in. These are asked him for like fighters who's had 16, 18 fights, 16, 18, like unbeaten fighters these are sending me. And I'm saying, like, look, lads, just chill out a little bit, like, you know, slow your horses down a bit. But they're keen, they're game. This is what I like. It's good, because you ain't got to talk him in and go, oh, yeah, do you want to fight him? Oh, no, I don't want to. They've never said that once. And I put some good, like Dante Dixon, his last opponent, he was a good game kid, and he was about 2 weights bigger. But the entertainment that he given that fight was unbelievable. I think it was all action, and Eddie and Sky, and he's been picked up by Sky Boxing as the one to watch. So I'm happy with that. But I reckon was actually and Louis. There's only one winner in it for me. He's been in a lot more bigger fights and everything's stacked against Louis, but with the right preparation in camp, I think he stops him, in my opinion.
Seems like a good atmosphere around Mark Tibbs. You've got John Edges in here, Johnny Fisher, obviously Louis Edmondson as well. Have I forgot someone? James Hawley as well. How's it all kind of going under Mark and with the boys?
Yeah, look, when me and Mark come in here, we come in, we do our thing. And I think that the lads bounce off each other. Louis, all the kids, obviously in here running around like madmen, they all bounce off each other. But I think Louis is one of them. You got to keep him in good company, like who's here with Mark and like you say, Johnny Fisher. You got Mark's. You got young Steve who trains him as well. So it's a good atmosphere. It's nice. It's good just to come here relaxed, but we want to get serious now. We want to get serious, and we've been having a conversation today. I'll be on the phone when I leave here talking to Eddie and my management, MTK. So I need to get something moving myself to get that, that big performance out I need and to shine bright. And let's see, with Tyson Fury, he had that big fight with Klitschko when he came through, and then he'd been in 2 massive fights with Deontay Wilder. And the entertainment was unbelievable. But they're the sort of crossover fights that you've got to take the chance to go, well, look, if I'm good enough, I'll do it. If I'm not, then I'm not good enough. And I want that opportunity. So it's nice to get that sort of rub-off effect of Tyson to look, no, he's done it, and I can accomplish that, and the support of everyone around me, and I've got a good team around me, and I believe in myself is the main thing. And I won't go in there to pick up money in one of these fights. I'm going in to win. I'll do a deal, make the fight, keep the money if I win. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to win. I'll win and keep the money. It's one of them. But it's one of them you also got to be fairly treated by the game and make sure that everything, not for me, but for my kids, everything's looked after and put in place properly. But it shouldn't take longer than a couple of days, 3 or 4 days to make one of these big fights, because if they want it and I want it, well, it's a phone call, isn't it? Sort that. Are you happy with that? Are you happy with them conditions? Yeah, I am. Yeah, no problem. Let's go.
Before I go, I've shouted that whole team. I don't want to forget a certain Tom Watts.
Don't ever forget Tom C, the man Watts, because he will hurt you bad over that. He'll beat you up. He'll want to spar you over that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we've mentioned him now, so.
You and him was like little pen pals out in Fuerteventura. I heard you was knocking back the old grandpa's old cough medicine.
I don't know where you heard that from.
It's the rumour out in Fuerteventura. Big thank you, obviously, to Adam Bailey as well, for letting us use that as camp. It's a lovely, good setup. It's now an MTK gym. So, thank you very much for that. And, I've had loads and loads of people inquire about, we're going to get away to camp. We're going to get away to camp and here and there. But I'm thinking, if I want a big fight, I just want to be on my Todd out there. Do you know what I mean? Don't want millions of people around there, especially with COVID. Yeah. And it's one of these things now that we have got to take in. Sometimes we forget about, obviously, what's going on in the world, and we have to take it very seriously. Like I say, I know at the minute that, obviously, you're all masked up. You've got all the mask on, and you're like, do you know what I mean? Have you got a mask on there, or is that... Yeah, you have got a bit of a mask on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bill, before I go as well, I can't not speak to you and mention the thing on Twitter the other day where some guy said you signed something and you spelt it wrong, his name.
Do you know what the funniest one was, yeah? People on Twitter, mate, all these Twitter bums, they all want to... If I put something up, I'm a bad speller. I left school at 11. Do you know what I mean? I can't spell, I'm rubbish. But one thing I can do is count. I'm a very good counter. But I can't spell, yeah.
Okay.
I'm very good with maths.
Quick maths, yeah.
Quick maths, yeah. Don't try me on the spot. But it's New Year and I don't want to be put in that predicament. But it's one of them, and they always give me a little bit of stick, so I'll just give them a little bit back. But the worst one was I actually signed something for a kid once. And his mum was there, and I signed it, and he went, "Oh, Mum," I signed his shorts, and he went, "Oh, Mum, he's ruined them." Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, fucking hell. I just wanted to go.
Well, this giveaway that we're going to do, can we sort this properly? So they have to say who the best person is on IFL that they like seeing.
Yeah, let's think of something. Like, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go name. I'll tell you what we will do. We will name MTK's first world champion.
MTK's first world champion. Comment that, retweet the post.
Think about it, because it's not very easy. It may look, you may think you know, but you need to do a bit of research there.
Okay.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
So comment that, and they can win a sign.
Where are they going to comment?
On the post.
So we'll give them a signed T-shirt, and we will give them a pair of MTK gloves. Perfect. Signed.
Well, that's a positive for someone. A good way to start 2021. Billy Joe Saunders, thank you very much for talking to IFLT. We wish you a massive 2021. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, just obviously thank you to everyone who's supported me all the way through and continue to. And obviously just, you know, we get a lot of people at the minute now at home depressed and down and out. You know, just find something to do in the day. You know, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's, you know, doing a little bit of skipping in the back garden, a little bit of shadow boxing, you know, to stay with it. Don't crack up indoors and go insane. Keep active, obviously, when you can. Little walks and jogs, and in the back garden a few exercises. I might start a few, it's a bit cold though, outside training videos. I was thinking about the other day doing like an hour a day, but it's a bit cold outside.
Freezing out.
Yeah.
I bet she's hard work, Vienna, no?
Are you hard work, Vienna? She is hard work. She's hard upkeep, I know that.
Are you a good girl?
Are you a good girl?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite? Who is your favourite in the world?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Is your daddy the best fighter?
Yeah.
Who do I beat? Who do I beat? The men, didn't I? Right, just tell him, what is your name?
Andrade.
Nena. Give me a cuddle then, quick. Say bye to him.
Bye.
Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later.
Yeah. So, no, thank you very much. Thank you. And I will look forward to hopefully seeing you soon.
Definitely. Thank you, Billy. God bless.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.